Mind your language. Speak right with confidence. You're welcome to yet another edition of Mind Your Language, your English checkpoint. But as always, before we plunge into business, the key concept notes.
Yo, man, I'll tell you something, man. You can hit me, you understand what I'm saying?
Nice. The bar is the law. The bar is the law. Hey, Asamoah.
This is only in Ghana.
Slang, as used in Ghana generally, is absolutely wrong. At least going by the international standards of the language. You see, there are only two dictionary definitions of the word in question here. I mean slang. That is either as a noun or a verb, and neither of these two has anything whatsoever to do with the Ghanaian contextual usage.
And this is only in Ghana.
And in this episode, we throw the spotlight on this rather fascinating phenomenon in Ghana, as depicted by this popular Ghanaian pastor, Rev Oborfour, we call him. Just check it out.
Just you feel that these guys are doing the right thing. Yo, man, I'll tell you something, man. You can hit me, you understand what I'm saying?
Nice.
Maybe you don't like me, you understand what I just said? I'm a pastor, you don't just lie, you understand? But you know I got power, you understand what I just said?
Nice.
If I said no, it's no. If you say yes, it's yes, you know? Oh, come. I begin to convince you, is it? Come on, man, get out of here, man.
Wow, what did he think he was doing? You're asking me, right? Well, your guess is as good as mine. But apparently, he was attempting to speak English as a native of a language. That is, speaking English with a perceived heavy native accent. And generally, you know, Ghanaians define such an act with this word you currently find on your screen. Yes, I mean slang. In Ghana, slang is used as an action word to describe a situation in which an indigenous Ghanaian is deemed to be faking the accent of a native speaker, mainly American. Okay, now, such an accent, Ghanaians also term LAFA. That's in our local parlance, which is simply an acronym for locally acquired foreign accent. Okay, locally acquired foreign accent. Now, this is usually characterized with speed in speech, as realized in the pastor's video. In fact, again, the Doctor Who and Captain Planet generation in Ghana would recall this is what we used to describe as arish kontomre, arish. Remember that, right? Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Now, prominent among the major culprits of this phenomenon in Ghana are radio and TV personalities, you know, celebrities, musicians, and other famous persons, ostensibly because LAFA is deemed a way of showing that one is refined. But that's another subject for another day, okay? Let's come back. And the word slang, I must say, is also used as a noun in Ghana, but with S added to it to read slangs. That is, as a noun. So you would hear a Ghanaian say something like, one of the contestants of the beauty pageant was speaking slangs, you know, implying that the contestant in question was simply speaking with a heavy native English accent, especially the American accent, interestingly, right? Now, so for our international audience, next time you are in Ghana and you hear a Ghanaian use the word slang that's as a verb or slangs as a noun, I guess you now better understand, right? Example, if you hear the man was slanging during the interview, you should now know it only means the man was speaking with an effective English accent during the interview. Just as popular Ghanaian gospel artist Diana Asamoah apparently tried to do with the expression she is famously known to have tried saying with a foreign accent. That is the expression, the battle is the Lord's. Just listen to it.
Also, no akraba was it the battery is the fatwa as well. I'm putting the battery is the Lord. Says the Lord.
What's it the bad? The bad?
Yeah. The bar is the Lord. The bar is the Lord.
Hey, Ghanaian Samoa.
And believe it or not, she later defended herself in this interview. Watch that too.
Aqua United Showbiz.
Yeah, near mommy.
Why you made
it? Does.
Wow. The battery is the Lord, pa. And yeah, then the
battery. The bar.
Oh, okay. The what?
Barrel. No. Me slang say no. US. Ghana Oborfour.
Okay. It is to be a man and come my bed yes half and one.
The bar is the loss.
Where you learn never the loss as well. The battery is the Lord.
The bar.
The gas will catch on Mempasa. Oh Mempasa. Buffy wow dear. Catch me. There. I was here. Mammy Chasso. The Barry
is the Lord.
Is the Lord. Ampa. A young camera for you.
So, you heard her. She even took it a notch higher than what I have even described so far, right? I mean, you heard how she even further slanged the word slang itself, saying that she sliced the expression using the word as a verb. Exactly, you know, how an out-and-out American lady would say it. Like, you know, the man was speaking slangs during the interview. Hey, big up Kumerica. I will get back to Kumerica again in a bit, but for now, enough of the fun. Let's focus on the real business. And the fact is, the word slang, as used in Ghana generally, is absolutely wrong. At least going by the international standards of the language. And this is where we begin the serious learning and enlightenment. So please pay attention, okay? The question is, why and how exactly is the contextual use of the word slang by Ghanaians in general wrong, according to the international standards? Okay, let's begin like this. You see, there are only two dictionary definitions of the word in question here. I mean slang. That is either as a noun or a verb, and neither of these two has anything whatsoever to do with the Ghanaian contextual usage and meaning as well. Let's explore, beginning with the noun form, that is slang as a noun. Now, as a noun, slang only means informal words and expressions of a particular language used by a particular group of people. Okay, in summary, that is what is generally referred to as lexicons, jargons, or simply put, what we Ghanaians call terms. So for instance, in English, slangs are categorized based on the two main international standards. That's the British and American English. And we begin with British slangs, which are defined as the informal English words and expressions limited to the British in terms of usage and meaning, and not necessarily, and I mean not necessarily, internationally accepted. Okay? Now, these are the words depicted in the dictionary as, in quotes, BRSL or BREAK,
informal in quotes, where BR refers to British, SL slang, and E English. And these are all put in brackets and placed just before the definition of that particular word, as you see on your screen. Now, example of British slang is the word you see on your screen now, which is just the short form of a legend. That is someone well known, often for doing something great or incredible. Now, this British slang can be used to describe not only a famous person, but also a friend or family member who is not necessarily famous, but has done something particularly good or impressive. Okay? So, if a Brit, and I mean a British, calls someone a ledge, you know he only means the person is a legend, and you know the meaning, or you know the context in which they are talking about. As simple as that. The other British English slang I want us to consider in this lesson is the word on your screen now. Yes, cuppa. Yes, which is the shortened form of the phrase cup of, okay, which means cup of tea or cup of coffee, right? So if a British asks you, would you love a cuppa? You know what he or she means, right? Now, okay, now with this background, you on your own may want to explore online or with a dictionary the several other British English slangs that exist. That is, if you deem it expedient in any way. But let's move on to the second. And in the same vein, I mean, we have American English slangs as well, okay? And these are also informal English words and expressions whose usage and meanings are limited to Americans and not necessarily internationally accepted, okay? Now, these are also the words depicted in the dictionary as AMSL in quotes or AM caps E informal in quotes, where AM refers to American, SL slang, and E English. And these are all put in brackets and placed just before the definition of that particular word, as also shown on your screen. Example of an American slang is the all now popular acronym GOAT, okay, in the world of sports, I mean, which means greatest of all time rather than the animal goat. Take note, right? So now, if somebody says goat, you know what it means. Now, the second American English slang I want us to highlight is the word tea or phrase here is tea, which is certainly not the ordinary tea we know of as beverage, but is slang for gossip or hot news circulating a situation. Okay, now it is often used in ways such as what's the tea, you know, meaning what's the new gossip, okay, or something like spill the tea, implying tell someone about gossip. Okay, so from Britain to America, let's now come down to Ghana, which is mainly the reason for this segment anyway, as the name suggests, only in Ghana. And here, by the explanation so far, hope you appreciate that the word slang as used in Ghana is a slang in and of itself. That is a Ghanaian English slang, to the extent that the context in which this word slang is used in Ghana, either as a verb or a noun, as already explained, is understood as such only by indigenous Ghanaians, and certainly won't really make same meaning for international speakers, okay? But for some more examples of what I am saying are also called Ghanaian slangs or Ghanaian English slangs. And you can also talk of, and here you can also talk of words like trotro as well as trotro mate. Whilst trotro is a Twi slang meaning public minibus transport, the mate, which is that person who accompanies and assists the driver by mainly serving and attending to passengers, is the Ghanaian English slang for a bus conductor. Okay, so to my Ghanaian compatriots, next time you want to speak proper English, and I mean by the international standards, you know you shouldn't refer to this person as a trotro mate, but what? A minibus conductor or simply bus conductor. Okay,
If you didn't know, now you know, only on Mind Your Language, Your English Checkpoint. And if you were loving this, why don't you just click on the like button and the subscribe buttons, and more importantly, turn on the notification button to receive alerts on new episodes, as well as other Hallmark exclusive broadcast concepts, okay? You surely are also free to share this broadcast with family and friends you believe would also need this, right? So just go ahead and do it. You're free to do it, by the way, okay? Anyway, so back to business. And hey, how can we talk about Ghanaian slangs and end without citing the ever popular and almighty, I call it almighty Dumso, which became so popular in the last 5 to 6 years. And this simply has to do with load shedding, erratic power supply, or frequent power outages. For the sake of our international audience, that's why I'm explaining. Okay, now there are several other Ghanaian slangs like wahala, which means trouble. I read, as we put it, which also means greedy or selfish, among others, that time won't allow us delve into all that. But I believe you can now better contextualize the word slang by the international standards, which in and of itself is a Ghanaian English slang, as I've already pointed out, okay? And speaking of Ghana, you know, of course, I cannot do local slangs without going back to my roots. Yes, back to my roots. And I'm talking of where I grew up and lived most part of my life. That's the Ashanti region, or better still, the Ashanti Kingdom. Yes. Ote kokoso nana bako pe. I salute you, His Majesty Otumfuo Osei Tutu II. Yes, that's our king. But let's talk about the regional capital, Kumasi, which is now trending as Kumerica, as already indicated. In fact, Kumerica as a word in itself is a slang. Yes, and it is a Twi slang. And hope you get it now, right? It's a Twi slang. Let's do some more Twi slangs, and we look at another word like yada. Okay, yada. So when a Kumerican tells you me yadao, which simply translates as I admire you or I like you, here the word yada is not formal Twi, but what? Informal Twi, and so a Twi slang. Okay. Also is this phrase dogino, simply meaning ignore him or her. And with this too, even though dog sounds just like the English word dog, the contextual usage and meaning is limited to Ghanaian Twi speakers, and so deemed a Twi slang. Okay, hope you get it, right? I hope you really get it now. Now, that's the extensive insight into the use of slang as a noun. Okay, now let's now narrow it all down to the use of the word slang as a verb, which is the basis of this whole conversation. Okay, per international English standards, slang as a verb also has one and only one meaning in the dictionary, which is to attack maybe someone using abusive language, or simply put, to insult someone. Example, Akusia slanged his boyfriend for his uncouth behavior. And I saw the two leaders slanging each other, right? So you see, the word, even as a verb, has nothing to do with the contextual usage and meaning in Ghana, which is faking a native English accent in one's speech, which we call LAFA, as I've already explained, locally acquired foreign accent. Okay, so the big question is, which English word thus best describes this act of LAFA? Well, there are two schools of thought here. The first one believes it's the verb slur, as you find on your screen at the moment, which means to speak words indistinctly and incoherently so that the sounds run into one another. But you know, there's what I deem a caveat here, which is that this word is usually used in connection with those
with speaking disability and intoxicated or drunk persons, okay? Just like this.
If I tell you, I'm not sure. My money, my body, now your own. Are you a ritualist? 30 billion for your account. Are you the governor? Versace and Gucci for your body. My dear, that is not a song for me. I'm an Igbo man. And one thing I know about women is that when you hold it, you are handsome. A hunchback man, this one is doing. Don't worry, come back to Nigeria, you will see them as handsome. In Nigeria, when they put you on a condition, only you will know that there are two conditions. The condition you are in and air condition. Let me tell you. For me, that very song can never go that way. Rather, it will go this way. When I tell you, say, I love you well, you are the one under condition. My body, my money, now my own, oh baby, I'm a big boy. 30 billion for my account, oh, that's the one I'm letting you know. Versace and Gucci for my shop, oh baby, I have it, I wear it. No do gra for me. No do selele. You're not on that level. Let's go to the other one. You go drink it burukutu. I beg give her burukutu. Do you have burukutu? She must drink the burukutu. So I'll do her chuku.
So, obviously, slur is not the best word for the act of LAFA, right? So, how about the other school of thought? Well, such persons go for the word displayed on your screen at the moment. Yes, drawl, which also means to speak in a slow, lazy way with prolonged vowel sounds. That is drawing out one's vowels or an accent with prolonged vowel sounds, okay? Now, this word appears to better describe the act, except that it also has a caveat, which is that the description depicts more of a British accent than the American accent, right? So, what's the conclusion you may be asking, I believe? Well, even though between the two words, drawl appears to be a better description, I say you are better off describing the act of LAFA, as we've learned already, as simply speaking with an affected English accent, okay? Where affected as an adjective here simply means or simply describes an accent that is not authentic. In other words, that pretentious, simulated, or fake speech meant to impress, right? So, you should never again say, the man was slanging during the interview, as you now know that that would only mean the man was insulting others during the interview. Now, on the contrary, you should say, the man spoke with an affected English accent during the interview, or simply the man spoke with an affected accent during the interview. Also, no more the man spoke slangs. Instead, the man spoke with an affected English accent. You didn't know, but now you know, and it's only on Mind Your Language, your English checkpoint, exclusively brought to you by Hallmark Communications. And this is how we end this episode. If the broadcast has been an eye-opener in any way, don't forget to click on the like button, subscribe to this channel. That's if you haven't done it. I'm talking of Hallmark TV. And more importantly, after subscribing, turn on the notification button to receive alerts of subsequent episodes in real time. Okay? Finally, feel free to express your views on this broadcast in the comment section, and also share with family and friends you believe would also need this, whilst you impress on them the need to also like, subscribe, and activate the notification button. Okay? Until the next episode, speak right with confidence. I'm out.
Hallmark TV, for the sane and